Do we have confidence issues? Maybe. It's certainly a question that is fair to ask. And we want to get to 4 downs right now. I want to remind you the premier hemp dispensary online is the Hemp House. Hemp House Chat, CHATT.com. The premier hemp dispensary online with a wide variety, great selection, and strict standards to ensure you only receive the best in CBD or Delta products. We had the Big Orange Crunch that we were going to offer 50% off, and that was after a Tennessee win. So that's full price this week, John.
Thank you, Dave.
We tried. We had a good idea, and then the trip to Florida happened. So maybe after UTSA, you can get the Big Orange Crunch at half off. We're talking Joe Milton confidence, yay or nay. Here we go. 4 downs is brought to you by Apparel Group Security Solutions.
4 downs. 4 questions. 4 answers. The Dave Hooker Show.
4
downs. A presentation of offthehooksports.com.
Okay, this is all about Joe Milton. Pardon me. This is all about Joe Milton, and let's get to 4 downs right now. And if your confidence level has dropped in him, if so, how much? Can you get it back? First, Cooper Mays. Tell the great listeners what they need to do.
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.
And give us a review if you're out there in the podcast world. We appreciate that. Gets us out there more. And we want to be a part of your day-to-day. We're live at 10 a.m. So let's go ahead and get to first down. Coop
here. First down.
All right. Pretty easy. If your confidence in Joe Milton after the Clemson game was a 10, so I'm putting words in your mouth, what is your confidence level in Joe Milton now? Caleb, I'll begin with you.
Well, if my confidence in Joe Milton's level was a 10 after the Clemson game, it would have been on a scale to 15. So it was never that high, but my confidence level I would say it's 6. It's 5 or 6. Joe Milton was never Hendon Hooker. I never considered him on the level of Hendon Hooker. I don't consider him on the level of the future with Nico Iamaleava. I consider Joe Milton a guy who was going to miss on a lot of throws, and Tennessee a team that was going to have to play more ball control offense this year. Which they're doing. They're just having trouble in some points consistently doing it because of untimely penalties and a few missed blocks by the interior. But Joe Milton's exactly what I kind of thought he would be.
John, yours was a 10, I believe. If that's the case, correct me if I'm wrong. But if
you're wrong, it wasn't a 10.
Okay. What was it?
I didn't even think about it. But I was more confident. I was more confident in him after the Virginia game than I was now. So let's say my confidence level was a 10. That was the question. If it was we're a 10 then, what's it now? I would agree with Caleb, 5 or 6 on a 10-point scale. He started the Florida game by throwing 2 great passes. Feathery touch, completions, touchdowns. And so I think he's improved as a passer overall. We didn't see that against Austin Peay, certainly when he started out 1 for 8. But his feel for the game, his decision-making, I really question that. And that came up in the Florida game. Things like knowing where to run and when to run. You saw that 2-point conversion try, right?
Yes, and we're going to get to that, which felt very rebellish. And
I'll say in defense of the 2-point conversion, I thought about this over the weekend. It was 29-16 at the time.
That's 4th down.
Oh, okay. We'll get to that. You're right. I'll save it.
Hang tight. All right.
I'm calling my 4th down play on 2nd down, guys.
Yes. Okay. 2nd down, Coop.
Cooper Mays here. 2nd down.
Do you think it's affected his confidence level, the fact that he hasn't gone out there and played well? He's played. John?
John.
Oh, I didn't know whom you were calling on there, Dave. Sorry for the hesitation.
Nobody raised their hand.
Gave me more time to think about it, though. Yeah, if he's has any self-awareness, it's affected his confidence. You start out a game 1 for 8 passing, that should affect your confidence. You lose a game to Florida and your offense generates 16 points. Yeah, that should affect your confidence. But, maybe he'll bounce back and have a big game against Texas San Antonio.
Yeah, monstrous. He'll river walk them all over Neyland Stadium. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I don't think it's changed, and it's brought to you by Herald Group Security Solutions, leadership, experience, specialization, addressing problems through unique mission-specific mitigation techniques, also making your children safer one school at a time. If your child goes to a private school, you need to go tell them about heraldgrp.com, the Herald Group Security Solutions. We've all heard of the tragedies. They will make your children safer. We're going to fight to get those in public schools as well. Herald Group Security Solutions. I don't think it's affected his confidence. And I went back after John and I discussed this topic, and I watched the press conference after the Florida games, and he said the same thing that Josh Heupel said on Monday, and that was like, "Oh, it's okay, it's all good, just shooting ourselves in the foot, everything's fine." And maybe that's tone deaf, or maybe he's right. We'll find out. But Caleb, I think he goes into this game against UTSA every bit as confident as when he was essentially given the starting role in January over the highly touted freshman Nico. I don't get the sense from a press conference setting that his confidence level is affected, even though it probably should be.
I do. I think it is because, and it's not necessarily the throws, because I think John's right. The throws are much better now. He's put in a lot better touch. His command of the offense deteriorates when things go wrong a lot. And
during the game, I'm with you. Yes. Like on a Tuesday or Wednesday leading up to the game, I think he's like, we got this.
But how is he going to respond to this one, though, when I don't lose in Florida? I just lost at Florida. I'm now playing from behind in the SEC East because I just lost at Florida. It's a totally different feel for his confidence. And I've been saying this for a long time. Ask the people at Michigan. They weren't sad to see him go. And it was always the minute something went wrong, he completely unraveled the rest of the season. And so that's a big test for him now.
I agree. But I don't think he thinks it's like that. I think he's cool with rolling out there and letting the chips fall where they may.
Dave, do you think maybe Tennessee should play on Tuesday or Wednesday? You said Tuesday and Wednesday, it's good?
Yes. Get a little maction. That would be fantastic. All right. What down, Coop?
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
Can he right the ship? I mean, obviously, it's not just errant passes. You can deal with a couple of those, but it's more along the lines of he's not handling the huddle correctly, and he's letting the clock expire, and we're going to get to the 2-point conversion. Can he right the ship, John?
I really don't think so, but I guess it depends on what your expectations are for where the ship is headed.
Let's go back to the last question. Can he right the ship to get them to a 9-3 season?
I don't think so.
Okay, Caleb?
I think he could right the ship to get him to a 9-3 season, but I don't think there's much. But no, I don't think he can right. I don't think there's any really ship to right. I think Joe Milton is what he is, and I think what you saw with Florida, you can't expect much better out of him. But what you saw is enough for 9-3 if Cooper Mays returns, if things go the way they should. There were a lot of things that happened in that Florida game. And so I think that, 9-3 still on the table, even with Joe Milton playing the way he did against Florida.
Papa J says before we get to fourth down, no, it is mental for Joe. I think he processes things too slowly. I think that was most evident in the pass to Dante Thornton that, man, if he leads him like Hendon Hooker would have, that's a touchdown in stride. And Kirk Herbstreit got all over Dante Thornton for not going up and making a play, and that's fair. But that ball is just thrown late, thrown off target. It shouldn't have been a jump ball. I don't think he processes things quickly enough. And I don't think he has confidence in his offensive line. But I do think he can right the ship once Cooper Mays is back on the field. So I guess I will differ in that regard from John. What down, Coop?
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. 4th down.
What the H was with that 2-point conversion? And Caleb, I know you've got a different take. You referenced it earlier, but the first thing I thought of with a 2-point conversion, and this speaks to field awareness and game awareness, he essentially jumped out of bounds on a 2-point conversion. I don't care if you throw a moon ball that's 30 yards high and lands in the end zone as a jump ball, like to begin an NBA basketball game. You cannot get knocked out of bounds on a 2-point conversion. And you can say that guy was faster than you thought. Oh, you've got to throw the ball up for somebody to make a play, John. Caleb may see it a little bit differently, but you.
No, you throw it behind your back, over your head, lateral it across the field. Or as you said, a jump ball, throw it 30 yards in the air. He can throw it 50 yards in the air. When it lands, it's going to hurt somebody, but maybe one of your guys gets to the deflection. But yeah, that's an all or nothing play. And I wonder about the play call, but just watching him execute it, I didn't understand that, except I do have a past reference with the Ole Miss game in 2021.
Yep. And Caleb, you saw it different. Why? I would love to hear your thoughts on that play.
Yeah. So here's where it's a little bit different from the Ole Miss game. Ole Miss game, it was touchdown or bust. You don't run out of bounds. I will say in Joe Milton's defense on this one. Now, y'all can question whether or not this was going through his mind in the moment. Okay. However, that touchdown makes it 29-16. There is the off chance with the college rules of a pick 6 on a 2-point play that would give them 2 points the other way, which would make it 31-16. Okay, you would much rather just play it safe and keep it 29-16.
It would be a
then
pick
force
2,
an interception. Yeah, pick 2. That's what I mean. It would be a pick 2. But here's the thing: if nobody's open, it's 29-16. And if you're not going to get it, then yeah, you still win the game with 2 touchdowns, which you probably need anyway. You probably need 2 touchdowns anyway. So I'm just saying that may not be in Joe Milton's mind.
Caleb, given his game awareness, let me ask you this. Do you believe in your heart of hearts that he thought to himself, I could throw a pick 2. I need a bounce out of bounds?
No, I'm just saying, I'm giving it, it's not as bad as the Ole Miss one.
No, it didn't cost him the game.
Nothing is bad. No, obviously Caleb is a contrarian.
You can surrender points on PATs in college football.
I know you can, Cable. But to actually believe that Joe Milton, if that was running through his head as he was running out of bounds, that's an incredible reach.
Was he really running out of bounds in the 2-point play there, or was he forced out of bounds? It wasn't like Ole Miss where he did run out of bounds. It seemed like he was trying to just run.
Bad from a physical play standpoint, but it was very reminiscent.
It seems like he was just trying to run for the 2-pointer, trying to force it in by running, and then he got forced out of bounds by the defense. Whereas with the Ole Miss one, he literally allowed himself to step out of bounds.